Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and my father and myself are like a kid in a candy store right now. We've been watching these prices. My dad literally is to the point of being giddy. He's seeing these prices where he can go. I believe my father may have had a few regrets of not having gotten into some of these things as much as he wanted to before the prices had run up a little bit at the beginning of 2019 with like Bitcoin and different things. And so he is literally picking the apples off of the tree right now. And it is such a good example of the way. In fact, I was having this conversation with my father this morning about how all these people on Twitter and people get so negative, and you read these comments about how, oh my goodness, this is so bad. How these people should be ashamed of themselves for talking about digital assets and all this stuff. And I just shake my head, and my father, his comment to that was, well, those are just anybody that thinks like that is just, they're thinking emotionally. That's like a child thinking like that. That's someone who does not know how investing works. And this is the way that my father raised me in the world of investing. And it's not just for the digital asset market, it's for all markets. And that is, emotions are your enemy. What matters is, and this is the question, anybody listening to my voice, the question you should be asking yourself as you look at these prices, the question you should be asking yourself is this: not, am I mad or sad or am I crying and upset that the prices are down? You should be asking yourself, what is the difference between right now, as I look at this screen, what is the difference between my investment in XRP right now versus if I invested today versus when I invested when the price was higher, whatever? What is the difference between now and then? Well, logically and rationally, the only difference is that more things have been accomplished by Ripple with regard to XRP today, when you're looking at this screen, than had been accomplished back in 2017 when you were looking at $3.50 or whatever with a green screen. That's the difference. And so when you see it through that prism, it's very clear that this is still a mostly speculation market, and we'll get more into that. But I want you to understand, I want to make sure this sinks in really well, because there are many people, and I've seen it said before on here, there are many people that are investing in digital assets, many people that are younger people, and many of them have never really invested in anything much at all before. So it's important that you understand the psychology of investing and the way that the people that really make the money in investing, the way that they think, because they do not think like 99.9% of the population. 99.9% of the population, actually it's 99.99999% of the population is, and this will happen again. The second that you start seeing a bull run happening in digital assets, all your friends and family that laughed at you, that's when they buy. That is 99.99999% of the population. Those are the people that don't make money. The people that make money are the people that abide by this quote right here. This is from Bill Ackman. I am not emotional about investments. Investing is something where you have to be purely rational and not let emotion affect your decision making, just the facts. Well, I've spent since 2013 until now, and I have invested and I have held. Now, I have also never invested more than I was willing to lose. And I have never invested so much that it affected my living cash flow either. Okay. Those are the backdrops to all of this. If you haven't done any of that, you have no reason to be upset. Yeah, of course you might not like that the market's down, but the rational decision-making side that caused you to invest in XRP to begin with None of it's changed. In fact, it's only gotten better. The only thing that's changed is different speculators, whales, whatever, has caused the market to go down in the short run. Okay, that's all that's changed. So if you realize, once you rationally and intellectually understand that that's all that has changed, then this is one of two scenarios for you right now. You're either a kid in a candy store like I am and like my father is, and you're buying, okay, or you just don't have the stomach to do it and you're just going to hold. Either way, relax, okay? Now I want to show you a few other things along these lines. This is a quote that I sent out last night, and it's from this guy, Robert Orna. In investing, what is comfortable is rarely profitable. At times, we will have to step out of your comfort zone to realize significant gains. Can you handle staying in when everyone else is jumping ship? Well, I can tell you as I sit here, I have handled staying in when everybody else jumped ship and everybody else made fun of me and everybody laughed at me, and I went to parties and they all thought I was just stupid and we told you so and all that, and I just laughed to myself because I knew what I was investing in. I invested rationally. I thought this thing out. I looked at Ripple, the people, the use case. I looked at the fact that they were creating Spring. I looked at the fact that they were not just focusing on the payment flows and settlement through Ripple as a use case for XRP, but they were creating an entire ecosystem. And that is what I see when I see my XRP investment. Okay, I was rationally and logically looking at something that all of these other people are not looking at. All they're looking at is, oh, this market went up. Oh, okay, so he was right. We'll buy some now. That's how they invest. That is not how a smart investor invests. Someone who invests like that, they may make a few bucks, but they don't knock it out of the park in the bottom of the ninth with the bases loaded, 2 outs, last strike, grand slam. They don't hit that grand slam in investing. You and I do, if we take emotion out of what we're doing. Now, I want to show you this. This is from Mr. B. He had sent me this right here. And it's very simple. It's just like this. This is a tweet from this guy, Shadow. This is simply a game of accumulation and patience, or just hodling, okay? I agree. I've been accumulating XRP for 15 months now, about in the same price range, 22 cents to 37 cents. And when it explodes, I'll be having a good day. And you're exactly right. Let me make sure I follow these guys, because these guys are thinking right. This is how you think in these things. And again, I want to go back and make sure I mention the caveat to this is never invest more than you're willing to lose, and don't ever invest so much that it affects your cash flows in your daily living, the ability to pay your bills, okay? As long as you've got those two things set aside, then you can buy, average down, keep accumulating during these times, because nothing about what's going on makes rational sense in terms of the price. But that's a good thing if your mind is right and you're not thinking emotionally. And if you're one of those people, and I read a comment this morning, oh, look, those YouTubers, they should be ashamed of themselves. If you're a person who is going to Twitter and you think that a YouTuber who has presented you digital asset news and information about Ripple and the different things going on, and your deduction from all of that is that that person should be ashamed of themselves, then you are way, way, way too immature to be investing probably in anything, but for sure not in digital assets, because you have absolutely no understanding of what investing is about. And you must hold your fellow man in contempt and think that they are not smart enough to read between the lines and that they're not smart enough to comprehend when every YouTuber I've ever seen pretty much says don't invest more than you can afford to lose. So if you're making a comment like that, you immediately are telling us you think they're stupid. Well, I don't think the people that listen to this are stupid. I think that everybody is smart that's listening. If you found digital assets this early in the game, you are not stupid, my friend. Now, if you're taking to Twitter and you're making silly, immature emotional statements like that, then you don't have any business here. You really should sell yours and go do something else. And you should also learn the lesson that it never ever pays to go and try to put people down in public. You don't accomplish anything by that. That's a terrible, terrible idea for anyone. Okay, moving along. C3 Nick, the crypto prices have very little to do with the utility or value behind projects right now. Now, that first line is a very important point here. Our market is still, Bitcoin drug all of these other digital assets down. The fact that it did that shows you pretty clearly that this is still a major speculative market. And this is the reason that I have told you this market that we're in right now is not much different at all than the last 4 or 5 bull runs that we've been through, and bear markets, okay? And that's a good thing. The reason that's a good thing, in a way, is because what it means is that even though you're in a negative land today, tomorrow you could be surging like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on speculation alone. In other words, if it's being driven down like this without utility and there's no correlation to that and everything's following Bitcoin, then the same thing can happen on the upside without utility. Okay. Now, I believe that XRP is going to have more and more utility, and I think that more and more investors will become aware of the fact that that's going to increase the price over time. But the speculation and the animal spirits I've talked about are still going to pile in on both sides of this coin, folks. That's the way markets work. It's always the way markets work, and I don't care if it's digital assets or the market for puppies. It doesn't matter. You will have that type of thing in investing, okay? And then he says that is due to several reasons. There are no frameworks in place which allow for a proper valuation of crypto projects. A large part of the market consists of retail investors who, quite frankly, have no clue what makes sense and what doesn't. He's right. What they do have is animal spirits, folks. And I keep harping on this because if the market can tank because of Bitcoin and something that has absolutely nothing to do with utility or rationality, okay, then it can also do the reverse and will, okay? That's where we are. I'm not going to go through the rest of this, but C3 Nick is a really good contributor. He has been to this channel. He's been kind of quiet lately, but anytime he shows back up, I like to show you his things because he's a smart guy. Okay, Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 29 sent me this. This thing's already gotten too long. Stephen Bull from the DIA. Search bridge currency on Google. What will you see? With the ability to transfer value in real time, XRP has created a new category, which is a bridge currency in the financial world. Bridge currency, it says, and then Joel Katz comes in, says, I am a bridge currency. So he's on, that's that bridge. He took a picture in Japan about a week ago and he was on a bridge. And so I think he's just being funny there. Then backed volume, daily summary of Monday's backed Bitcoin volume, monthly futures. Traded contracts, 2679, all-time high, 2728, open interest, 2.36 million. Well, this right here alone shows you what a market will do. So the market pours it when the market went down. These people started pouring in to buy these contracts. Well, that's a direct response to market forces, folks. It's not that Bitcoin doesn't have any utility. There's probably never going to be a whole lot of utility for Bitcoin, but this is what the market does. This is how markets operate. And then we got this, Julia Chatterley. Imagine you're sending money back to your home. She's covering Libra, and I just wanted to show you this because Libra is not going away. Libra is going to be a thing, and so a lot of us saw Libra, in front of Congress and all that, and everybody thought, oh, Libra is going to be in trouble and all this. Well, Libra is not going away. They're still talking about. She's interviewing this was the co-founder of Libra, chief economist of Calibra. Talk strategy. And then down here, Green Eggs and Ham says remittances will be commoditized almost free in a few years. The challenge is building liquidity for one's asset, 200 plus markets around the world. Without that, you just have a great idea. Ripple is doing that at scale. Nobody else comes close. And then let's see here, Bob Ross. Now this is the guy, the CEO of Coinfield, who they just started Solargenic, and I told you I'm studying this. Thank you for the support, everyone. We cannot wait to see how big the Solo community will get in a year from now. The goal is to be within the top 10 coins on CoinMarketCap in a year. Take a screenshot from this tweet. He's retweeting, "Hi XRP, what's your opinion of the Solo project?" And then this guy comes in and says, let me make sure I follow him. Okay, comes in and says, "Solargenic, a pioneer in the space, looking to achieve something which has never been done before. Solargenic will introduce a whole new world to traditional stock investors yet to experience efficiency of digital assets. The top 10 could easy as liquidity builds." Should be whatever he was trying to say there. Then right here, Ripple, this is from Wrath of Kahneman. Ripple completed MG stock purchase. Consider, bought at $4.10 a share, now $2.95. Will own 9.95% of MoneyGram stock. Will own 15% total, including other non-vote warrants held by Ripple. New corridors. They believe in the liquidity they're seeing. Good signs. X lighting the way. Who's next? Santander to stop charging commissions on remittances to Mexico. So I'm not going to go into that article, but Santander, as we know, is a Ripple partner. Ripple, they're on RippleNet. Peter Voss at Peter Voss 6 sent me this. Google Trends for Ripple is up 23% in the past week. That's November 19th to November 25th. Ripple search is up 23%. Hopefully that's a leading indicator of things to come. XRP Crypto Wolf, TransferGo's CEO, who is this guy. What's his name? I'm not going to try to say that. But he said that by 2020, even a few minutes will be too slow, which is why TransferGo is looking to use Ripple's ODL with XRP. They're expanding its real-time operations into Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Africa with RippleNet. And then there's this, from XRP Crypto. Bank of New York Mellon joined the Marco Polo Trade Finance Consortium running on R3's Corda. Our hope is that the business requirements of our clients will meet with what Marco Polo has to offer, and our intention is to move into live production ASAP. That is big time. Bank of New York Mellon, by the way, is you see that name in conjunction with Ripple all over the place. XRP at X Big Town sent me this. This is interesting right here because we know Alex Holmes is the CEO of MoneyGram, and he spoke at Swell about how they're planning to open more corridors. I enjoyed my meeting with Prime Minister Imran Khan, Finance Minister Dr. Abdul Hafiz, and Advisor on Commerce, Mr. Razik Dawood, today in Islamabad. That's Pakistan. Looking forward to collaborating in 2020. Well, who do you know is working in Pakistan? Wait a minute. I thought I saw someone that I recognize. Let's look right about. Okay, I didn't. I thought I saw Navin Gupta, but he was not in the room. Okay, Keto McPhee has asked for a title. He wants to be the official Bahamian ambassador of the Digital Asset Investor Channel. And he is now the official Bahamian ambassador of the Digital Asset Investor Channel. So it is. This guy here, Maltese Crypt, has sent me a very nice direct message. And he asked me if I would give a shout out to the guys at Triton Technical in Seattle. Shout out, guys. And I hope you've got your big boy pants on. And you should be excited about the buying opportunity out there. Myself and my father are. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And ask your friends and family, do they want the digital asset investor to do a live stream while I prepare my turkey on Thanksgiving morning? I was having that thought pattern. Thank you for listening.